Welcome back to Factorio SpaceX Extreme Mode, where we try and make the damn right unlikely have a slight degree of plausibility to it. Anyway, what I have been doing since last time is I've been adding a lot of barrels to the system here. This is still the oil train we got at the beginning, but with the number of barrels I'm requesting in every single one of these request chests, and there are a lot of requested chests in the system, we need as many barrels as we can get. So I've been sending the supply train backwards and forwards, getting thousands of extra barrels, and as you can see, as each one is coming in, it's draining quite a bit of the oil out of this train, 250 per barrel. So once we actually have enough barrels, which I imagine is some tens of thousands, it should happen fairly smoothly. But at the moment we are struggling for numbers, and a whole lot of barrels are sitting in places like down here that's not doing so much. Something else I've done is put some more radars down so we can have a look at how these fields are going, and how, for example, our copper in the way, that's getting very close. The iron ore that is supplying the old base, the stone, but that's for the main base, it's like a temporary one. You can see that this iron ore field has completely vanished, it's been completely exhausted. This copper field, we don't actually have a radar on it clearly, but there is a tiny bit of copper that I basically built over, but the bulk of that field is gone. Coming up to our, well, that's our coal power, and it looks like the coal is, the supply lines are a bit stressed. We need to move it around a bit perhaps. I've got the supply train under radar now, so I can see that and see how the supply of things are going. Up the main base, obviously copper is somewhat weak, and yeah, I mean, we've got enough green circuits though, so that's not really causing an issue, but it probably is on the red circuits. Yeah, the red circuit production's a bit weak due to the lack of copper cable. And finally, up the top here, we've got the nuclear setup. At the moment I've got about 14 reactors, which is good for around about 2 gigawatts. Can have a look at, ooh, the oil train has just left. We have just finally finished emptying that first oil train. Now the question is, did I set up a radar over here? And of course I didn't, but it's not very far away, so let's do that just so we can observe from afar, because that seems like a fun thing to do. We should be, I'm not actually sure what a full train is, but I guess it's kind of a lot. We're fairly close to a full train. Yeah, let's get a radar, plonk it in there, and now we should be able to get that view from the map view to see how we're going. How we're going is pretty well. I might even ride the oil train back, because I expect it to be full momentarily. It would be nice if it actually moves into the other oil depot, but there's nothing forcing it to do so at this point, so it's fairly likely that that won't actually be what it does. What we could do, in fact, is manually drive it. I mean, we're good here, this can fill up, that's fine. Manually drive it just to charge up the second of the oil depots, and that should be, whoops, no, not up there. That's what happens when you manually drive things. That's what happens when I manually drive things. Let's be a little bit more accurate. Right, we want to go up, down this path, not up the other one. And we want to skip past that one and follow this. No, we want to go down. Well, maybe if I tell it to go to oil depot from there, it'll do it itself. There we go. A little bit of nursemaiding later, and here we come in, folks. All of these are currently empty, but there are... And look how that is a pretty fast emptying. Right, most of these must be full now. Yes, that is what's happening, but these machines, and they don't have speed modules in them yet, but they will eventually. Yeah, we're draining fairly quickly. So we have a fair supply of the barrels. Seems to be happier delivering the barrels down here than it is up there. Just a few with something left. Interesting. Oh, I see. We're missing pumps there. That's no good. I wonder if I can build one. Missing a steel plate for the other. Okay. I wonder if we have steel plate in this logistic network. Let's have a look. This does look like the one we're in. I don't see steel. We can always do that. No. We do not have steel. So, yeah, we will probably be a pump short. Not to worry. We'll still empty this one fairly quickly because... Is that pump working? That's it. That pump's not a shadow, is it? Or is it? It might be. That one's a shadow. This one will never empty. That does look like a problem we've got. There we go. No. Go on, put one up there. There we go. Much better. I'll have to fill in these later. Draining fairly quickly now that we've sorted out that issue. That's the only tank with anything in it. And one pump is actually pretty good at emptying it. These aren't completely full. And it looks like they're still processing oil, although we're not getting too many empties delivered back, so we obviously need a whole lot more empties in the system. Okay, we don't need to watch that any longer. Let us head back to our supply request area. How are we going for underground pipes? We're not going particularly well. What have we got in here? 100 plus 1,000 of them. Alright, order that in. And let the area build itself. Let's have a look how well our plastic is going. We're loading up. Ooh, 4,400. It's actually loading up a lot better than it has previously. I suspect that's a long way shy of capacity though, yes. We're not even close to a quarter of capacity. So each one of these can probably take, what are we saying? Times by 100, 40, so 4,000 in every one. We can probably get 32,000 then in a train, and we are at a mere 5,000 almost. So yes, it's a little bit weak at the moment, our supply, but let's just tell it to go to plastic unload. ride the plastic train, and we will see what's happening at that end. Spent long enough sitting in the oil area. There's a lot to set up still, but we've made good inroads. So here we go, plastic unload. And it's gone, and it's only 4,500, but it's getting swallowed. Most of these should start up in a bit of a hurry. For 5 seconds or so, if it even lasts that long, we should have a nice spike in our red production. 1.6, 1.7. Let's see what it gets up to. It's probably already dying off. 3. It's reasonable. Our green production has had to respond, since you obviously use greens and red, and wherever it's taking the red also. And of course our production of copper plate has started moving as well in response to everything, so that's a good thing. 17,000 plates a minute is pretty modest. So it's not like I'm skiting about these numbers or anything, it's they're pretty modest at this stage. But the reds have already stopped, I think. Yeah. So it was just, wait, and back to sleep. Now, don't worry about how we've got robots drifting all over the place here. When we have a few more furnace columns, we will be having column after column of roboports as well, so, and also a bit more bot speed will help. Everything's already recovered. I would expect our iron needs a little bit now, apparently. Yep, there you go, the furnace column has turned off. I should have checked power. I should have checked power while we were doing that production, just to see where we're at with power. But it's rapidly dropping from 800 megawatts. I wonder if I can get a 10-minute. There you go, that's where it spiked. Which I guess would have been a bit over a gigawatt. We can do 2 at the moment, so that's not such a big deal. Now, I wonder if any red circuits made their way up here. Ooh, some did. Not enough to be useful, but some did. So this is kind of our make everything, but on a scale to help the production. Ooh, we are getting a few more. To help the production sorry, I keep losing my train of thought. It's to help our production of making the megabase, basically. So we've got assembly machine 3s that need a bunch of speed modules, as well as assembly machines 1s that also are needed for assembly machines 2s. So those 2 are just for assembly machine 1 and 2s, and this is only just to help us build the megabase, basically. And then we have roboports. They don't need much. Well, they do need quite a few things, but it's, in terms of what we need to build around it, it's really just the iron gear wheels. The other things, like the red circuits, are being built way on the far side of the factory, and obviously steel is being smelted in here. So yeah, I wonder, what have we got? 17, and they both on 17, 34. It's not even enough to build a single one yet. By the time red circuits have been spread to all of this stuff, and below all of the green circuits, to the speed modules, we haven't even got the other modules in there yet, but to the speed modules, you know, there's not that much to go around. In fact, it's not actually spreading any in here, which is interesting. So yeah, that was what the plastic train does. Now if we run back and have a look how our oil's going. Actually, the other thing that's worth doing is quickly having a look at how copper in the way is doing, because that little spike may have 114. We do that once more, copper in the way will probably be completely removed from here. The iron still has quite a long way to go, however. You can drill in, and the oil train must have gone and come back, and it's sitting at the top. Very good. Now I'm pretty sure I don't actually have, yeah, I need a radar down at the bottom here so that we can check on the progress of the plastic train when it's sitting up here. What have we got? Very little. I guess as expected, really. There we go. Oh yes, what we need here is some more. Now what we could probably do is down here, if these are all on average near 60, that would be 96 by 60, that's sort of 6,000. That would add quite a lot of fuel to our train. So what we could do is go to manual mode. Actually, we'll just back up here. That should do. Now if I force it into the bottom station, plastic depot, in mere moments it should fill up with all of that. We now have 6.4k. Why don't we go to plastic unload with that? And I think we're just running on coal, aren't we? No, we're running on wood. That's even worse. Maybe a mixture up front. But eventually this will probably be running on rocket fuel. So here we go. Once the cloud of robots reaches its furthest extremity and a few things start kicking on, I'll check the power output, or power demand rather. There we go, we're sort of briefly flicking up into 1 point something gig. Which we're handling just fine. How's our production? 3.8, 3.9. I mean, it'd be fair to say that we're probably, you know, not even close to where I want to be. I want to be about 10 times this sort of number in red. How is power? Fairly settled. How is this over here? That's fine. Oh, there's tons of copper in the system anyway. I'm guessing that, yeah, we've already exhausted that 6400 plastic. It really doesn't take long. Right. Oh, while we're here, we may as well extend. Oh, we don't need it going. Oh, we might need it going down further, but anyway, extend that to there, and we are going to. I noticed before we were missing these actually underneath the red circuit, so I might have to move that station at some point, which probably isn't ideal. Never mind. How are we doing for time? So we haven't really accomplished a whole lot this turn. This episode, shall I say? Turn, what am I thinking of? Turn by turn strategy games or something. Ew. That's interesting, that's a little odd actually. Let us fix that. The front of the train is not actually filling up with coal. There we go, that's better. Get that sorted before the train stalls on us somewhere. And how are we going with regard to all this kind of stuff? Well, there's no barrels sitting in the system, so obviously we need more, and also it looks like there's no pipe to ground sitting in the system, so we may as well just get that to happen again. I don't know how many thousand, as I've said before, but I know the train can't take more than about 1,600 barrels at once, so it is possible that I should actually try and, you know, even make barrels here locally. I'm not sure. Not sure just yet. How's this train going? 572,000. If each of these is 75,000 and there's 8 of them, that would tend to suggest we could have about 600,000 in total. So 572 means very little has actually been unloaded. That's a little disappointing. That's also why we're not getting very much plastic being created, because we simply need pipes to rotate through the system a little bit better. And if I had a button to be able to change all the requesters to 100 or even 50, I probably would about now, because I may have been just a little bit too aggressive with the number that I set them to. And it is causing us to take a little bit longer. Ooh, I wonder what's causing that. Causing a little bit longer for us to get oil operating properly. So, with that said, I'll keep working away here, trying to get the thing up and running, and look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers and goodbye.